इसमें टाइम लेग चल रहा है क्या? मैं अभी सामने ऊपर मेरा बैग दिखा रहा है। जब ऑन हुए तब बताना। होता है। Shall we start? Please check on YouTube. We are live or not? अगर कमेंट्स नहीं देख पाएंगे तो फिर कमेंट तो एक्टिव कर लो। हाँ, एक बार फोन कर लो। स्टार्ट करें? ठीक है, जब हो जाएगा देन। Friends, there is some technical glitch. As soon as we are able to solve that glitch, we will continue this class. Please be patient. Give us 1 or 2 minutes. We will be online. It is showing one error. Because of that, we are getting a slight lag. Currently, we are not able to see the comments which you people are making. So we are trying to solve that problem. Till that time, I will just continue with the session. So from today on the after 2 weeks, we will be having, you will be writing the next prelim exam 2024. So last 15 days are there, and it is very important period for all the aspirants. We come across many students who are feeling anxiety and who are feeling doubts what to do and what not to do in these last 15 days. First of all, I want to assure you that this is not a time when you should panic. Just you are giving all of your energies, you are studying very well for last 1 year, so just be confident and don't have any kind of doubt about your preparation, because being confident is one of the key in passing this exam. So don't be prejudiced about the examination, don't be doubtful about your preparation, because with the by having the same level of preparedness but by having the less confidence, you will be losing some marks. With the same level of preparedness but having a greater confidence in your preparation and having a greater sense of self-belief will enhance your marks. If you see the cutoff before starting this session and analyzing the trends in history subject, paper of history subject, if we see the cutoff marks of 2023 which UPSC released recently, the general cutoff is around 75 marks. If we see the cutoff of other years, in 2022 it was 88, in 2021 it was 87, in 2020 it was about 92, and in 2019 it was about 98. So what we can witness there is a general trend where cutoff is decreasing year by year. In 2019 it was in the range of late 90s. In 2020 the cutoff became in the early 90s range. For continuously 2 years it was lingering around in the late 80s, 87, 88, and in last year it dramatically fell to in the range of 70s. The first time in the history of UPSC examination, CSET was introduced about in the year of around 2010-2011. The first time GS paper 1 cutoff marks fell so sharply. Now it is currently in the range of 75 marks. We can also say that by going by this general trend, we can observe that paper is becoming difficult with each passing year. But this is good thing according to me, because now if you have a good level of preparation and if you have a self confidence, then by solving less number of questions also, correct question also, you can pass this examination. And now there is not much scope that by just reading the current affairs one can pass the examination. Only those serious candidates who have covered their basics thoroughly, who are confident enough, and who has referred the material, the traditional material, they have a good chance of passing this examination. So if we see the trend analysis of history, if we see the number of questions which UPSC is asking in the prelims, if we see, I am giving you a rough example. The last year 13 questions were asked, before that 14, before that 10, before that 20, and before that 17. This is the general trend which we have observed in the examination of UPSC prelims. We are talking about the prelims examination. So if we see the trend, apart from the year 2021, approximately, if we take an example, on an average 15 questions UPSC is asking from the history examination, and the number and the cutoff which we are witnessing in last 5 years, we can say for sure that the chances that UPSC cutoff this year will also be less than 100. So if you are able to solve more than 50% net questions correct, then there are high chances that you will not only write the UPSC Civil Services Mains examination, but you will be eligible to write UPSC Forest Service Examination Mains also, cutoff of which is generally 15 to 20 marks more than the cutoff of UPSC Prelims Civil Services cutoff. So how to achieve this level with the current level of preparation? Only 15 days are left. So many times we come across students who are in their second, third or fourth attempt. One mistake which they make is during the last days of preparation, they leave aside their static portion and they focus more and more on the current affairs. But if trend is if we witness the trend and if we prepare according to trend, then it is not a good strategy to ignore your static portion for the current affair portion. Currently, current affair portion is not that significant, and you have to rely more and more on the traditional aspects on the static portion. So what to do in these last 15 days? My suggestion will be, first of all, whatever static portion you have covered, whatever notes you have covered, whatever previous year question you have gone through, please revise them thoroughly. It is again and again repeated by the teachers that please go through the UPSC previous year questions. You will find at least 5 questions directly or in more. See, if you revise thoroughly and if you witness the trend thoroughly, if you observe the trend thoroughly, you will get the question, you will see that question either directly related or indirectly related from the previous year questions of UPSC are more than 10, in the range of double digit questions. In more than 10 questions will directly can be attached in one way or another to the previous year questions. But if even if we do not take that high numbers, if we see that only single digit questions will be from the previous year question, then also it is a very good number considering the cutoffs we are witnessing. So what the previous year questions will give you, previous year questions at this stage will give you a good idea about your preparation. And if you not able to solve those questions with confidence or without, even if you are able to solve them with some difficulty, please don't lose hope. This is the right time. Even if you are able to see your mistakes, please go and correct. My suggestion will be for the history, please go through your notes, class notes, whatever class notes you have, whatever your self notes you have, plus traditional sources, it is very important to at this stage not to refer any new sources. Please don't refer any new sources, only refer the traditional sources at this stage or the sources already covered by you. Now there are only 15 days left. I will suggest, I will advise, don't go and refer any new material at this stage for static portion. Only revise your self notes and traditional material. What is traditional material? NCERT, old and new NCERTs of class 11th and 12th, plus for modern India, if you want to refer the spectrum for modern India. If we see the trends, we all know that ancient, medieval, art and culture, plus modern India. This is the syllabus for prelims history. If you leave aside the year 2023 and 2022, traditionally majority of questions, UPSC prelims history question usually used to come from these two portions, art and culture and modern India. But in the last 2 years, 23 and 22, many questions were from the topics of ancient and medieval India. And ancient and medieval India, most of the questions were from traditional sources, which can be solved from traditional sources. It means they were generally asked from the material, generally asked from the information available in traditional sources, means you either from new NCERTs or old NCERT. To give you an example, the question which was there last year about the irrigation facility in the Vijayanagar Empire or the city, Hampi city, it was about the 𝑯𝒊𝒏. It is available in the NCERT, new NCERT. A whole chapter is there about the Vijayanagar Empire, and a portion, specific portion was there for about the irrigation facilities provided to the city of Hampi in particular and Vijayanagar Empire in general. So these are also, there was a question last year about the Gujarati emperor Bahadur Shah, the emperor who was killed by the Portuguese in 1537, and also the areas Daman and Diu given by the emperor Gujarati emperor in the 16th century, first half of 16th century to the Portuguese. So these information is already there in the NCERT. Satish Chandra, it is written there. And there was a question last year about the Sangam as a term available in Sangam literature, which student finds very difficult. Uh, that that term was also available in a book in which UPSC used to ask many terms, from which UPSC used to ask many terms. But at this stage, if you have not gone through the type of the questions related with the terms, then I will suggest you at this stage, please don't go in panic mode and started looking for the books in which you can find a term. At this stage, restrict yourself to the UPSC static material, that is NCERT, and the terms you can find after the in the end of the book, that is glossary. If you find some terms, please restrict yourself to those terms at this stage. I will not advise you to go and check new terms. So what is the first thing? First thing is, don't panic, revise whatever you have read till now. Don't start any new material. Restrict yourself to your self note, your class notes, your static material, and the static material which is available in the traditional sources, that is NCERT and the spectrum. Also, by going by the last 2 years trend, please pay proper attention to the ancient and medieval portion also earlier, because most of the question UPSC was asking from art and culture and modern India section, people were generally ignoring the ancient and medieval Indian part. But last 2 years, by going through the trend which we witnessed in last 2 years, UPSC is asking now majority of questions in last 2 years from ancient medieval India, and also the nature of question is comparatively easy. If you see the whole exam, if you see the whole level of whole paper, whole UPSC prelims paper, which is indicated by the decreasing trend in cutoff, we can say that comparatively the portion, the questions which UPSC is asking from ancient medieval India is comparatively easy. So it will aid in your preparation in passing this exam if you pay proper attention to these two aspects. As if you can be sure of anything, by going by the trend, the one thing which you can be sure of is you cannot predict UPSC. So this year you can also get a shocker, and many of the question you can again get from modern India of art and culture. But be prepare yourself that you can get question from any of the portion. Have a integrated holistic approach. Be prepared for any adversity in the examination, and always be confident. Confidence will play a big role in you passing this examination. Now if we move to some of the events which were in the news last year and which were of our importance for the history paper, then I will suggest that last year 2 of the sites from the India were added in the World Heritage Site list. The 2 sites were Shanti Niketan and the Hoysala temples. Shanti Niketan, as we know, is an educational institute established by the Rabindranath Tagore. So, since this was in the news, I will advise you to go through the first, what is the World Heritage Site, how many World Heritage Sites are there in India, total 42 number now they have, what type of World Heritage Site mein how many types are there, means mixed sites, archaeologically important site, or natural sites. 3 types of sites are there. Then Shanti Niketan was established by Rabindranath Tagore. You should know some information about the Rabindranath Tagore, which is important for your preparation. Then Hoysala temples, you should know Hoysalas, in which area Hoysalas were present, their time period is early medieval period, in which part they were present, their capital, their neighboring states, and also Hoysala temples of which area, their capital, and also the temple present in Halebid, Belur and Somnathpur. These are the 3 sites in which Hoysala temples, the Hoysala temples of these 3 sites were now included in World Heritage Site list. So you have to know the name of place, also how at which time Belur was the capital of Hoysala, what at what time Helebid was the capital of Hoysala. You should know, you should aware what kind of materials were used for the construction of these temples, what are the chief gods, what were the shape of these temples. These are Nagara style, these are or Vesara style, or these are Dravida style. If they are Vesara style, why we are saying they are Vesara style? Some other important temples of the era. So these kind of information you should know, which is part of your preparation. You must have prepared those things, but now since they were in the news, some specific information is need to be there. Now after that, friends, you should also, since you have now covered World Heritage Site, one more information was I would like to suggest, I would like you to see that now there are tentative lists. The World Heritage Site also maintain a tentative list of monuments. Now 14 forts, 14 Maratha forts from Maharashtra and plus Tamil Nadu. Jinji was in Tamil Nadu. It was a famous Maratha stronghold in Tamil Nadu. So one fort of Jinji and 11 forts from Maharashtra are in the tentative list. Since these forts are also in tentative list, you should also aware that in Maratha Empire, these forts used to play very important role in the administration as well as the polity. So now you should have some kind of knowledge about the Maratha administration and also about the Maratha Empire, the history of Marathas, how these forts are important, if some of the treaties were signed in these forts between the Maratha and Mughals, these kind of general information which is present in NCERT. I am not asking you to go and read something which is not present in traditional sources or which were not part of the current affairs. Just you should have some basic ideas how Jinji, Tamil Nadu, the area is Jinji, why it is important, that you should know. Also the Statue of Oneness. Now last year Statue of Oneness, किसकी statue है? You should know it is a statue of 12-year-old Shankaracharya. Bal Shankaracharya's statue it is. It was inaugurated last year in Madhya Pradesh at the place Omkareshwar, near Omkareshwar. Now you should be aware about the Shankaracharya, which philosophy he propounded, since he was propounding one of the 6 traditional schools. So he was propounding a philosophy which was a part of which was the part of 6 traditional philosophical schools of India. Since he was part of, I think now they are able to comment. Please, if I can see their comment. It is coming here, na? If I can see there. Okay, I will see from your note. Now I can see your comments. If you have any doubt, you can ask in between also. Okay? If you want, you can ask. So, as I think one information which I like to share with you, we have prepared a document in which we have given subject specific topics which one need to go through before going to write the prelims. They are about the list of topics, list of personalities which were in news in last 1 year. So we have prepared a list about the history, we have prepared a list about the polity, we have prepared a list about the economy, and so on so forth. Those lists will be provided in the links below, so you can go and check the their list, the number of topics which are present there. Some of the topics I am covering here, but most of it is not possible to cover each and every topic. So most of the important topic I will be covering here, I will be talking about them, but you can go and check the list yourself and you can check that have you covered those topics or not. If you have not covered the topic, I will advise you to go and please cover those topics from the 1 year current affairs. No thorough no, I will not ask you to go and prepare each and everything about those topics, but you should know some information about the topics. But do not leave your static preparation for preparing only for current affairs. One Riddhi is asking how to prepare short notes for history. My advice will be, now only 15 days are there, so need not to prepare any notes at this junction. Whatever notes you have, whatever material you have, just go and read through them and try to have a fast speed so that you can revise as many times as possible. Whatever you have read, now there is no time to prepare new notes, there is no time to prepare new to study new material. Whatever material you have gone through, please revise them again and again thoroughly. And the only thing which you can add at this junction is, if you have not gone through the previous year questions, please solve the previous year questions, please go through their answers. UPSC has started giving the answer key from I think 2010 or 11 they started giving the answer key. So those answers the answer UPSC has provided, those answers are also available. The key answer key is available on net. Please go through those answers key, please go through the previous year questions and find the right answer as per the UPSC, because in the year 2000 how important they are. In the last year also UPSC has given 4 options in a question about the books and their correct authors. One of the book given was Milinda Pahano and the option was given as Nagarjuna. So in NCERT, if you check, the UPSC has the NCERT has given information. R.S. Sharma UPSC NCERT of class 11, the ancient India, old NCERT, which is now no longer in publication, no longer part of the curriculum of class 11th history. In that NCERT, the information is given that the Milinda Pano author is known by the name Nagarjuna as well as Nagarjuna. But if you know, in the year in the late 90s or early 2000, UPSC asked the same question about the author of Milinda Pano, and out of the 4 options, 2 options were given as Nagarjuna and Nagasena. So 2 options, they both were given as a separate option, and UPSC has given the Nagasena as the correct answer. So since Nagasena is the correct answer, then Nagarjuna cannot be the right answer. In the last year UPSC has given in match the following Nagarjuna as the author of Milinda Pano, which is the wrong answer. So if you have gone through previous year questions, if you have gone through the previous year answers of UPSC, then you will be able to get some good advantage in the paper and able to score good marks. Please talk in also Hindi medium aspirants are also see your lectures. Answer keys and practice answer are not matching. ठीक है, हम हिंदी में भी थोड़ी बात करेंगे, पर we will use English so that the students of both the language will get something out of this lecture. So these are the Statue of Oneness was in the news last year. If people who are living in Delhi and traveling by the metro, they must have come across one of the Ahom kingdom's military leader, poster of military leader of Ahom kingdom. The name was Lachit Borfukan. Last year was the Assam government was celebrating 400th birth year. of Lachit Borphukan, who was the military leader of Ahom Kingdom. Our Honorable Prime Minister also inaugurated a statue of the person in Assam, Jorhat of Assam. So now you have to prepare yourself about the Ahom Kingdom. What was the conflict between Ahom Kingdom and Mughals? During what time this conflict took place? What was the final outcome of this? Who was the Lachit Borphukan? What you can gather about the Ahom Kingdom? What was the outcome of this conflict? Why Lachit Borphukan is so famous? And also, so these kind of information you should know. Likewise, the Shankaracharya, you should know what kind of philosophy he was propounding, what was his birthplace, what was his contribution in the philosophical thought process of India. If he was from Uttar Mimamsa he was inspired, then what was the source of Uttar Mimamsa, what is the common element present in the six philosophical orthodox schools of Indian philosophy, what was the common theme which is connecting to all of these six philosophical schools, how they were different from the non-orthodox, that is orthodox sects of schools, what is the common element among the orthodox sects of school, how the different heterodox sects of schools are different from each other. So these kind of general knowledge you should be aware of. And what kind of knowledge I am asking about you to have? Only those knowledge which is present in the traditional material. I am not asking you to go and read some additional material at this stage, which is neither advisable nor possible. Some more information. There are some temples which were in the news, like Buddhist circuit was in the news, Rama circuit was in the news. Similarly, there was some news about the Mihir Bhoja. There was a dispute going on in Gwalior about the statue of Mihir Bhoja. So he was in the news. You should be aware, since Mihir Bhoja is now in the news, you should know about the tripartite struggle. The three parties which were there in tripartite struggle were Rashtrakuta, Pala and Gujjar Pratihara. Mihir Bhoja was the Gujjar Pratihara king, and in his son and his grandson's court, one poet, Shekhara was present, who was the author of Bal Ramayana, Bal Mahabharata and some Prakrit texts also. So these are the information which is not new information, already present in your medieval India, the early medieval periods initial chapters. Completed 12th exam, Hoysala temple, Sharda temple, Bradeshwar temple, Ayodhya Ram Janambhumi. See, yeah, and since last year new parliament was inaugurated, so some of the murals of new parliament was in some murals of new parliament. They were in news, especially the mural related with empire of Ashoka. It was in the same place, the Major rock edict of Ashoka was also there. And one of the replica of the sculptures of Ashoka, only known sculpture of Ashoka, which is present at Kanganahalli. The replica of that statue was also present at the same site. So new mural of parliament which were in news last year, the same place we were having mural of the map of empire of Ashoka, also one of the replica of major rock edict of Ashoka, as well as the Ashokan sculpture which was present in Kanganahalli, that was in the news last year. So you should now have some kind of knowledge, you should brush up your knowledge about the major and minor rock edicts, pillar edicts of Ashoka, different capitals which are present in Ashoka, what were the basic idea behind construction of those stupa, what is the about the Ashoka's Dhamma, the role of Ashoka in Mauryan Empire, the region, is Ashoka responsible for the demise or decline of Mauryan Empire, what can you the Kanganahalli was there 4 or 5 years ago, Kanganahalli was asked by the UPSC, so you should also know about something about the Sanchi Stupa, Bharhat Stupa, and minor major rock edicts of Ashoka. So these kind of information, because it was in news, you can expect that some question UPSC can ask. So some other personality and information which were in news were 𝑉𝒂𝒏𝒏𝒅𝒊 prehistoric caves were in the news. Also Tungnath temple. Tungnath temple is situated in Uttarakhand. Tungnath temple was also in news. It is a temple dedicated to Shiva. It is considered as the Shiva temple of at highest altitude. Highest altitude Shiva temple, and it is present in Uttarakhand. These you should aware. Some other things which were in the news we have already covered. 𝑬𝒂𝒂𝒏 caves. 𝑬𝒂𝒂𝒏 caves was in the news. Actually they are not actually caves, but we use the term caves. They were not caves, they are just a cliff. The rocks are such that they create some kind of shelter, and that is why we are using the term caves. Actually they are not caves. Why they are famous? In Kerala they are present, and they have prehistoric artwork. Prehistoric artwork. They were first discovered in the year 1819 by one of the police officer of Travancore state. Then Konark Sub temple was in the news. I will not cover that because you must have read many things about the Konark Sub temple. It is a medieval period temple dedicated to sun, and it is present in Odisha. Then Maratha forts we have covered. Sengol was in the news. In new parliament, the news was going on about the Sengol. Chola time period, Sengol used to transfer hand from one ruler to another. From one ruler to another to mark the transfer of power. So Sengol was given to Honorable First Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru at the time of independence of India to mark the transfer of power from the Britishers to Indians. Now that Sengol, since it is related with the Chola time period, Imperial Cholas, there is a possibility that a question about the Chola time, Cholas, can be asked. So you should know about the Imperial Cholas, the role of Rajaraja Chola, the role of Rajendra Chola, how they were related with the conquest of Sri Lanka, the conquest of Srivijaya or Shailendra Empire in present days Indonesia, how they are associated with the construction of Rajaraja temple and Gangaikonda Cholapuram temple situated in First is situated in the Tanjore and second is situated in the Gangaikonda Cholapuram. They both were part of the living temples of Chola tradition. So we should be aware of that. Also we should be aware about the role temples used to play in the southern Indian society during the medieval time. How they were playing their role in the economy of the area, how they were playing a role of a bankers, how they were playing an important role in the preparation in the propagation of education, how they used to promote the irrigation facilities, what kind of sangam in the Chola imperial Chola's age, what kind of local self-government body was present. So these kind of information now becomes extra important. Dancing girl of one person is saying dancing girl of Mohenjo-daro. See, the dancing girls of Mohenjo-daro, even if it is not in the current affairs, it is always very important because first of all, we have very less information about the metal artifacts of the Indus Valley civilization, and even in those metal artifacts, we have less number of metal artifacts. In those metal artifacts, the dancing girl of Mohenjo-daro is always very important. It is always the first thing which we teach about when we read about the artifacts of Indus Valley civilization. Mohenjo-daro, what the other finds, important find, the priest, the bearded stone priest was also found from the Mohenjo-daro, and from Harappa we found some of the carts, metal carts, bulls we found. So these kind of evidence we found. Also one of the naked person's torso we found from Mohenjo-daro. So Harappa. So these kind of information is always important even if they are not in the news. Phone aa raha tha. So these kind of information are important. Also some other topics which were in the news, if we see, Statue of Oneness we have covered, Garba was included recently UNESCO's World Heritage List, intangible list, sorry, not intangible. Garba was included in the UNESCO World Heritage List. Mewar School of Painting was in the news. So Rajput style of painting was always cover before the examination. Rajput style, Mughal style. So Mewar Marwar, some of the important Rajput style like Kishangarh School. So we need to cover those aspects also. Lachit Borpukhan we have covered. Mihir Bhoja we have covered. Tiruvalluvar, Guru Nanak, Banda Bahadur, Savitribai Phule, the very important personalities, they were in the news. Since RRR movie was there, Alluri Sitaraman Raju becomes important because the movie was in the news, and also it is important. Current affair में भी था, and historical point of view से भी थोड़ा news में था. हाँ, one more important thing, National Manuscripts Bill. National Manuscripts Bill was in the news. National Manuscripts Bill. It is very important, है ना, for this year examination 2024 prelims के लिए. अगर आप हिस्ट्री का सिलेबस, हिस्ट्री की बात करें तो दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर करंट अफेयर. तो सबसे पहले तो आपको ये देखना है कि जो बिल है ये क्या प्रपोज कर रहा है. इट वांट्स टू डिजिटाइज all the manuscripts, digitize the manuscripts, भले ही वो इंडिया में प्रेजेंट हो या इंडिया के बाहर हो. सो यू हैव टू फर्स्ट अंडरस्टैंड इट वांट टू प्रिजर्व ऑल द इंडियन मैन्युस्क्रिप्ट्स आइदर प्रेजेंट इन इंडिया और आइदर प्रेजेंट आउटसाइड इंडिया. डिजिटाइज करने से क्या फायदा होगा? इट वांट टू प्रिजर्व देम फॉर फ्यूचर जनरेशन. from cultural aspects also, as also for the study purposes for the future generation, so that we can study them, we can appreciate our cultural heritage. So it proposed to create a 10-member committee which will be chaired by the minister of culture. Minister of culture will be the chairperson. Chairperson will be minister of Ministry of Culture. Okay. Now some other aspects are also there. Please go through the aspects of the National Manuscripts Bill of 2023. What kind of manuscripts is want to preserve, for what purpose is want to preserve, what kind of committee it is proposing, who will be the chairperson of that committee. So and what do you know, what do you understand by the manuscript? Manuscripts, anything which is written by hand, where on either paper or palm leaf, birch, on the bark of tree. And how manuscripts are different from inscriptions. They both are different things. Inscription you find on stone, okay, generally. So these are the difference. So manuscripts bill is there, so you have to understand that thing. If you have any doubt, I am very happy to address those queries. Yeah, Nataraja statue of G20. See, Nataraja, if we see the Chola, when I have told you that Chola period is important and I have covered the temples, then Dravida architecture became important, and one of the example of the Chola period sculpture art is Chola period bronze Nataraja. UPSC also asked a question, how many hands Nataraja, Chola Nataraja statue generally have? The question or the option was 2, 4, 6, 8. Also, since now Nataraja statue of Chola period is important, you should know they were making it by using the lost wax method. Also, what were the attributes, features of this statue? You should know who was present in those statues, who was the demon who was present in those statues, what kind of dance posture was Shiva is doing in those Nataraja statues, who the presence of Ganga, the presence of fire, the pose, if 4 hands are there, in which hand Shiva has which thing, which hand Shiva is not having different aspects. So these are the important things you should know. Konark sub temple, yeah, it is important. Sustainability, paper on palm leaves, okay. So if you have any, so my suggestion will be, don't panic at this stage, don't suffer from any kind of prejudice, be prepared for the examination, that it can be very tough also, it can be of average toughness also. So don't have any prejudice notion, just be prepared that the paper can be of any nature. Just prepare that you have to stick with the at this stage you have to prepare all the static portion, you have to prepare all the traditional sources, like NCERT should be covered, your class note should be, your notes, self notes or class notes should be thoroughly revised. You should see all the previous year questions of the UPSC, and since now 15 days are there, you should revise all the 6 or 7 important subjects at least twice, thrice during this duration. So speed should be fast, no new thing need to be read at this stage. You should not read anything new material should not be touched. Have faith, have confidence, take a proper sleep, so that your body should be acclimatized with the schedule of examination 9:30 to 11:30, 2:30 to 4:30. One more thing, very important thing I like to address at this stage, please pay proper attention to CSET paper. I have seen many students who are very good in GS1 paper but not able to clear this examination because of their inadequacy or their unpreparedness, or because they were not that much cubed to solve CSET paper. So at this stage I will advise you, try to solve at least 3 to 4 CSET paper each and every week during the 2:30 to 4:30 window, so that you will be prepared for the CSET examination. It is only a passing examination. Usually people are not giving that much importance. The people who are generally good in mathematics, logical reasoning, quants and English comprehension, they generally avoid practicing CSET, thinking that it is a very easy paper, we will be able to solve. The scenario here is not that it is easy or tough. Many times the problem which student face is their speed is not sufficient enough to solve the enough number of questions to get passing marks in the CSET examination. So how you can achieve that? You can only achieve that by practicing enough. So this is the session today. If you have any doubt, I will be happy to address those. The objective of this session is to provide you an overview how to utilize these 15 days to best of your abilities. Not to panic at this stage, just revise whatever you have covered, and how to go about the current affair related portion of the history exam. Also how to prepare, how to revise the history static portion. So this was our an attempt to address this scenario. So this is for today. Many more teacher will come and take the different parts of this examination, like history was taken by me. If you have any more doubt, I am happy to address, or either we will end the session. Any question? Okay, then we will close this. Okay, thank you.